I am Uga, junior human behavior researcher from planet Glorp 7. Yes, the Department of Mammal Affairs assigned me to study humans. Professionally. Unfortunately. Today's report, why humans panic over bugs. It is 2:13 in the morning. A human enters a bathroom dressed for sleep. On the floor is a creature smaller than one of the human's toes. The creature moves sideways. The human immediately forgets it is the dominant species. Its shoulders rise, its feet retreat. Sometimes it climbs onto furniture. Sometimes it removes a shoe and begins negotiating with violence. To be clear, the bug may weigh less than a paperclip. The human has survived traffic, taxes, and group chats. None of that matters now. This tiny animal has too many legs, moves without permission, and appears to understand psychological warfare. The obvious explanation is danger. Some bugs bite, others sting or carry disease. Except humans also panic over harmless beetles and moths. Put a mosquito in the same room, an animal far better at causing actual damage, and many humans barely look up. So this cannot be a simple danger calculation. The panic is reacting to something else. The department found several clues. Movement matters. Location matters even more. And then there is the strange way fear spreads from one human to another. Some of this began in the ancient world. Some of it happens inside the Disgust system. The rest may be learned in a kitchen while an adult screams at a cockroach. By the end of this report, we will understand why a creature smaller than a grape can defeat a mammal large enough to operate a motor vehicle. Field investigation begins with the places bugs are hardest to see. A tick can hide in hair. Fleas disappear into bedding. Lice simply move in and live on the human. A spider can wait inside a shoe. Field note: humans rarely check the shoe before inserting the foot. Small crawling animals refuse to behave predictably. They appear from cracks, change direction without warning, and sometimes touch the body before the human even knows they are there. For most of human history, there were no antibiotics or sealed rooms. There was skin, food, bedding, darkness, and an enormous population of organisms interested in all of it. Ancient humans did not need to understand microbes, they only needed to notice patterns. Flies gathered around decay. Dirty water brought sickness. A bite could swell, and scratching it could make things worse. A sleeping place full of fleas was not a rustic lifestyle choice. It was a biological emergency with a blanket. Over many generations, humans got good at noticing anything that hinted at contamination or injury. Accuracy was less important than making the safer mistake. If a human leaps away from a harmless beetle, the cost is embarrassment. If a human ignores the wrong parasite or contaminated food, the cost can be much higher. The calculation was crude, but effective. A false alarm cost a moment of embarrassment. Missing a real threat could cost far more. As a researcher, I must remain objective. As a living organism, I understand the screaming. Fear is only half the report. Bugs also trigger disgust, the feeling that says, "Do not touch that, sleep near it, or somehow let it enter your mouth." Researchers sometimes call this the behavioral immune system. It helps humans avoid possible infection before the actual immune system has to get involved. This is why crawling creatures become associated with waste, rot, blood, bites, and dirty surfaces. A harmless bug may still resemble contamination. A butterfly on a flower is beautiful. A butterfly-sized shadow under the bed goes into a very different file. Specimen response: panic. Alien confusion. Moderate but declining. Movement makes it worse. Most mammals travel in ways humans can follow. Bugs dart, vanish, climb walls, fall from ceilings, and occasionally launch themselves into a human face. From a Glorp 7 perspective, this is both inefficient and difficult to watch. The human brain dislikes unpredictable movement near the body. A cow walking across a field is information. A cockroach firing itself under the refrigerator is an event. Spiders activate this alarm especially well, although they are not insects. Too many legs move at once, and the next direction is anybody's guess. Humans may also be prepared to notice certain old threats quickly. In 2017, Stephanie Hoehl and colleagues studied 6-month-old infants. The babies showed increased arousal when viewing spiders and snakes rather than flowers and fish. This does not prove that babies are born with a complete phobia. The infants did not request flamethrowers. The results suggest that human nervous systems may pay extra attention to old threat shapes. Attention is not fear. It is the brain pointing at something and saying, "Keep an eye on that suspicious arrangement of legs." What happens next depends on experience. The brain notices the creature. Memory supplies an unhelpful detail. The last one jumped. Then a nearby adult screams, and the young human learns that climbing onto a chair is apparently the approved procedure. Some of this fear is ancient. A surprising amount is learned. A child may not know what a cockroach is, but when every adult panics, the lesson arrives quickly. Cultures do not even agree on which bugs deserve panic. A cricket may be lucky in one place and dinner in another. A beetle looks beautiful outdoors and criminal inside a cereal box. The animal remains the same. The report changes. Still, culture is building on an older problem. Bugs cross boundaries. Humans divide the world into neat categories: outside, inside, clean, dirty, edible, absolutely not edible. Bugs ignore the system. Then a bug walks across those categories without completing the required paperwork. It enters food, clothing, bedding, and sometimes skin. The department asked for scientific language. I will try. Humans do not enjoy unauthorized biological contact. A spider in a forest is nature. A spider on a pillow is a collapse of social order. The reaction is not perfectly rational. Emotionally, it makes complete sense. Sleep leaves humans vulnerable. The room is dark, the body stays still, and small biting creatures become harder to detect. So, when a bug appears in bed, the human brain sees more than an animal. It sees a broken safety boundary. A beetle across the room is annoying. A tick attached to skin is personal. A bedbug inside a mattress is betrayal with legs. Most insects, of course, are not attacking humans. Many pollinate plants, recycle dead matter, and keep entire food webs running. Humans generally understand this. They can watch an insect documentary and admire the creatures for an hour. Then one beetle enters the shower, and all scientific respect leaves the building. Field note: bug on screen, education. Bug on body, ancestry. At 2:13 in the morning, the nervous system is not holding a seminar on ecology. It is making a fast decision with bad information. Sometimes it produces an adult standing on a toilet, holding a shoe, asking another adult to deal with the situation. Evolution does not promise dignity. It promises adequate survival. Final report: humans are not born terrified of every tiny creature. Their brains do, however, notice certain threat shapes quickly. Disgust reacts to possible contamination, and experience fills in the rest. Bugs happen to press several of those buttons at once. They hide easily, move without warning, and have a long history of turning up around bites, parasites, disease, decay, and sleeping bodies. Culture supplies the stories. Parents supply the screaming. One cockroach unexpectedly discovers flight, and the training is complete. The result is a large social mammal abandoning an entire room because a creature the size of a grape has claimed the floor. It looks irrational because the alarm is much larger than the animal, but the underlying risk management is old. The human brain is not saying, "This bug will definitely kill me." It is saying, "Looking foolish is cheaper than ignoring the wrong thing." Humans are weird, but not random. Civilization is ancient instinct wearing better clothes, standing on a chair, and pointing urgently at the bathroom. Final report: weird, but explainable. Status: humans survived. Status of bug: unknown. Status of dignity: unrecovered.